Welcome back. When families live in poverty, usually their pets do too. You may have seen dogs that live every day, all day, chained to a tree, a fence, or they're pinned up. But is that really living? Dogs Deserve Better is an organization that works tirelessly to break those chains and create a healthy new life for pets in need of a good, loving home. Joining me is two of the organization's volunteers, Hibah Qubain and Glen Weiss. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, anybody knows me knows I love dogs. So I have to first commend you both for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Talk a little bit, how long have you both been volunteering with the organization?
I've been around since 2013.
Okay. What about you, Glen?
I work for different organizations. I don't necessarily work just for hers. I volunteer on weekends, and the calendar was my idea, was my way to give my time and efforts to her her cause.
We're going to talk more about that calendar, which is a wonderful way folks can help in just a bit. But first, Hibah, let's just talk a little bit about the fact you're an all-volunteer national organization. You're the only one in Tennessee doing something like this?
No, not by a long shot. There are a million rescue organizations. The problem is astronomical. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to understand it unless you saw it with your own eyes. And there are many, many amazing organizations just in Nashville as well as all over the state of Tennessee and really all over the United States.
So talk about what Dogs Deserve Better mission.
Sure. So our mission does have to change a little bit with changing cities. So primarily it is to get dogs unchained. And in Nashville, we worked really diligently with the council to ban chaining. And so now you can be tethered. But as you said before, that's not really life for a dog. And neither is a pen. And so a lot of times what we've tried to do is build fences for these dogs so at least that they have areas that they can run around in. But as everybody knows, the real estate is increasing in price in Nashville. And so a lot of these people are being priced out. And so what happens is we've been building these fences and they're moving away. And so all of our time and money and materials are being left behind. And so you have to change focus a little bit sometimes and focus some more on getting those dogs to become indoor dogs so that when the people move, they're not back on chains and they're not back on tethers.
Because that's one of the things that you do in order to serve these people, is you will build them a fence.
Correct.
So they can take that dog off the chain, take it out of that pen. So your organization comes together and literally goes out and builds fences.
We literally go out and we dig the holes and we buy the materials and we beg for money and we build these fences.
Wow.
Yep.
How is it, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, how can you sometimes make these families see? Because I think often they don't always realize that they're doing something wrong. They feel like, oh, that's my guard dog. That's my guard dog. That's why they're out there. You, in a non-judgmental way,
absolutely,
talk to these folks though to try to help educate them. How difficult can that be?
It can be very difficult to the point that some of our volunteers have been shot at.
What?
Yeah, we go into some rough areas, and of course, you can't be judgmental, and you just try to do your best. But some people just don't want to hear about it. But that's also a very rare case. But it does get to be that extreme. In most cases, these people do want help, and it doesn't just stop at the dogs. Like a lot of people that are not animal lovers will say, "Well, it's just a dog." But what you have to understand is that these families are having difficult times, not just with the pet, but also with themselves and with the children. We've taken women out of difficult situations, rehomed their dogs, gotten them away from abusive situations. We've helped, clothe children and helped with food, those sort of things. And so it doesn't just necessarily stop at the dog, but the dog is the low-hanging fruit. So it's easier to approach a family in regards to a pet versus maybe, your child's not being taken care of properly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Poverty, let's talk a little bit about that. 1 in 6 Americans live in poverty. 6 out of 10 households have pets.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you can't even take care of yourself,
right,
and you're trying to take care of a pet,
yeah, it's very difficult.
Are you primarily working with those folks who live in poverty?
Certainly the people that are living in poverty are the ones that have animal neglect on their sleeve. They don't necessarily feel like it's animal neglect, and it is a hard sell, but for anybody that questions it, I would say to them, tether yourself outside in 100-degree temperature for a few days with dirty water, and then tell me that that's not absolute abuse. You know, and when you work with these people, you can explain it to them, and most of them are very open to it. And you know, we go back and do rechecks and make sure that they're doing the right thing. And the best case scenario, we can eventually get them to surrender their pet. You know, and then maybe even in an equally best scenario, we can teach them to bring their pet inside and actually become a family member.
The interesting thing, though, too, is if you go one step further to homeless people. Homeless people take care of their dogs before they take care of themselves. I found that to be true. Whenever I try to help a homeless person and give them dog food, or they say he's fine. He eats like a king, and they do. Which is really interesting.
That is really interesting. I'm sure there's some sort of a psychological reason behind that.
Well, when you're homeless, your pet is not over there in a pen or chained up. Your pet's literally physically on you, and there's no way that you can have a dog physically touching you and for you not to have that emotional connection, right? That there's just no way that can exist.
Well, we got to take a break, but there's a wonderful way you're going to be able to help this great organization, a calendar. And we know someone very well who's in it. Stay with us as we learn more about Dogs Deserve Better after this.